My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Mad God. But a better title would have been Rad God, because man, this movie is freaking awesome. Look, right off the bat, this movie is not for everyone. It is a vile, disgusting, disturbing, and just a very gross movie. It's filled with bodily fluids and blood and guts, and just some of the most bizarre imagery you'll ever see. There's not much of a narrative going on. There's almost no character work in this movie. So it's certainly not for everyone. It's for a very select few. But I just happen to be part of that select few because I saw this movie was just fantastic. I really liked this movie. As disgusting and as gross as it is, it's still a beautiful work of art. Like, the craftsmanship behind this movie is undeniable. It's almost entirely stop motion animated, and it's just breathtaking to watch. For the entire runtime of this movie, I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. I was just fully engrossed. Just examining every second of this movie, every frame, the amount of work that went into the backgrounds, the environment, the level of work that went into creating texture, the level of creativity that went into some creature design. It is all phenomenal. Like, this is some of the best stop motion animation I've ever seen in my life. Like, just visually, it's absolutely incredible. And I have to give credit to the director, Phil Tippett. Now, he's a guy who's worked in Hollywood for decades. He's done visual effects for lots of movies that you guys have seen, like Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, Jurassic Park, and a bunch of others. And his directing here is just phenomenal. You can tell that so much love and passion and care and hard work went into this movie. You know, I just saw Lightyear last night, and then to watch this movie shortly after, the comparisons are night and day. One of them is a generic movie made by a big studio, because why not? And the other one, this one, you can just tell is a passion project. Apparently, this movie took 30 years to make, and it shows on screen. It's absolutely mind-blowing what they're able to do. And no matter how gross this movie got, I thought this entire movie was just beautifully animated. And just because of how grungy and gross this movie is, it just has this atmosphere that soaks you in, and I absolutely adored it. I also thought the sound design in this movie was absolutely fantastic. I also thought the music was really good and contributed to the atmosphere. Just technically, this movie is flawless. Just everything about the craft of it is everything that filmmakers should aspire to make. And it completely flies by. I didn't check my phone once while watching it. And just the fact that they're able to do this with very little story, almost no character at all, and zero dialogue, just shows you how well made this movie is. And even though there's not much narratively going on, I do think this movie explores some stuff on a thematic level. Like, I definitely think there's some religious aspect to this movie about our creator sending us to this planet that's just filled with evil and chaos, or maybe it could be a representation of hell. And just some of the decisions they made in this movie, I definitely think that he's trying to say something. And I'll be fascinated to watch this movie time and time again to try to pick up on what it is this movie is about. There's definitely something there, and I think it could be interpreted many different ways. And that's the best kind of thematic movie. Well, the themes and ideas are present, but they're not in your face. And I love that about this one. And if I'm talking about my negatives, I don't have a lot. Like I said a billion times already, there's not much going on narratively. And maybe I'd prefer for there to be a bit more of a story. But the craftsmanship was so good and the atmosphere was perfect that I didn't really need one all too much. I do think my biggest issue with this movie comes from the fact that it's entirely stop motion except for a few moments where they are human characters. And I get what they're going for. I get that it's a deliberate creative decision. but visually it looks off from the rest of the movie because the rest of the movie is so weird and gross that they're trying to apply it to real life at this point. So they gave the guy super long fingernails and they're trying to give him a crazy look, but it looks more silly. You know, everything else in the movie feels part of this world, while the humans stick out like a sore thumb. But aside from that, like, if you're talking about filmmaking and craftsmanship behind a movie, this is just pure perfection. It is a work of art. If I had to compare it to anything else, it would be The Wolf House. Not a lot going on narratively, but the craftsmanship behind that movie is undeniable. It's just a beautiful, unique looking movie, and that's the case here. You know, like I said, it's not for everyone. It's not for the faint of heart. When I say it's messed up, I really do mean it. But the craftsmanship on display is just so damn incredible. You know, the stop motion is some of the best animation I've ever seen in my life. The editing's great, the cinematography is great, I love the sound and the music, it's very atmospheric. And for a movie where almost nothing happens, I just couldn't look away. And I do think there's more to dissect here with its themes. I can't recommend this movie enough if you have the stomach for it. So I'm going to go ahead and give Mad God a 7.5 out of 10. I wanted to give it an 8. I couldn't quite get there this time, but it could go up on my next rewatch. But yeah, like, this kind of filmmaking just gets me excited about movies in general. But have you seen Mad God? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.